Hey guys, welcome back to my podcast. Sorry I haven't been here for a couple of weeks. Had some stuff going on. We're gonna, we're gonna talk about the crazy game yesterday between the Browns and the Steelers. It was just, um, just a typical Browns and Steelers game. Um, kind of rough, competitive, defensive game. Um, I'm gonna talk, of course, about Chubb's injury. Just so gutted for the guy. But first, we're just gonna go like talk about dissect the game in general. The Browns offensively were just terrible, just out of sync. Um, I knew the second Chubb got injured. I knew they're not gonna score nothing. I mean, they had a touchdown, but it was like a 1 yard touchdown, and a 70 yard run by Ford. That's not really, like a good offense. It's just, one big play. Um, I just feel like I knew they're gonna. I knew before the game that they would end up finding a way to lose this game. I mean, if anyone just looks at the stats, who just knows, doesn't even know football, would just, if you just look at the stats, they would just wonder how the Browns lost this game. I mean, the Steelers had -7 yards in the fourth quarter, -7, not even a yard, -7, and they still found a way to win the game. Um, I think the defense played very well. The defense was amazing. The defense has been good for the past couple of games. They've been really, really good. Much change from last year. I think Schwartz has been amazing as a defensive coordinator. I think he was the right guy for the job, and he knows how to pump his players up. He knows he lets them bring out their personality. Um, they play tough. They have a different ego about themselves. So the defense has been really, really, really good. I'm really impressed with the defense. I mean, they they gave Pickett trouble all game. He couldn't do anything. Not one time in the game when Pittsburgh were on offense that I thought that they were going to win the game. That they even were going to score a touchdown. All their touchdowns were off Browns turnovers. That's how bad the Browns were offensively. And I'm gonna talk also about Watson. Watson, I mean, it's so terrible. I'm just gonna look at his stats out here. I mean, he had, let me see, he was 22 for 40, 235. I mean, I don't know how he got 235, honestly. One TD and one sack. He was sacked like six times. He got two fumbles. I mean, his quarterback rating was 16.1. That's pathetic. Um, he needs to step up his game. He needs to start stepping up. I mean, some people give him a pass for last year. Oh, they said it doesn't count, even though it was 6 games. 6 games is a lot to get going. Um, and this year he's basically played the same way he's played last year. Even though last year no one really looked at it because only 6 games, but I think 6 games is a lot. Like I said, I'm still not gonna drop the conclusions. I'm gonna give him like a couple weeks, see how he does. I mean, we gave him an excuse last week. The weather. I mean, this week there's no excuse. I mean, he saw that our best offensive player was down. He needed to step up. He didn't step up. He he was very clumsy with the football. Didn't handle football right. He didn't know how to. He couldn't make decisions. His decision making was very bad. He didn't know if he wants to run, if he wants to pass. He got flustered. He lost his composure. He's fighting with the refs. He's doing face masks. Imagine, I've never seen in my 20 some plus years of watching football a quarterback do a face mask, not once but twice. Especially when they're in good position to at least get a field goal, he took him down back 15 yards. So he was just, oh no, just terrible. And if he if he continued like this, the Browns have no chance. I'll probably give them like 3 4 games maximum, if so. Um, they need a they need a running back. Um, need to pick up a running back. I heard they're trying to pick up Kareem Hunt. I mean, that's fine. I don't see anything wrong with that. It's a solid move because He's played in this system before. He's been with us for 2 years. He's from here, obviously, and you know, any addition would be a plus right now for the Browns, especially on the running back positions. Um, so back to Watson, but I mean, he just, I feel like mentally he's not there. I think his off field problems really got to him. It's really getting to him. I hope he can come back from it. I think he needs like one good great game, like a 300-yard passing game, two TDs type of game to get his confidence back. Because a lot of people have these off season issues. It hits you mentally. Like, I mean, the biggest example was Tiger Woods when he had this issue with his wife. And he was never the same after that. I mean, he had injuries too, but he was like he was never the same player. So yeah. So let's see what he does on Sunday. So it's a new week. It's a new start. It's a fresh start for him. So let's see what he does. Hopefully, he can step up his game because he knows that there's no way this team is going anywhere if he doesn't play well. Especially now that they don't have a running back because the whole offense was situated around Nick Chubb. The offense goes where Nick Chubb goes. Um, Another thing I want to talk about is Stefanski. I've never been a Stefanski fan from the beginning. I thought should be gone last year, the year before, um, even last year. I thought even though they weren't a good football team, we won like what 4 or 5 games. I just think there's a lot of games in which there were very close games, and he just did not finish the games. For so how, for example, I can give you a stat since um, since Stefanski's been with the Browns. It's been since 2020. It's been his fourth season now. Obviously, the Browns are 1-23, which means 1-23 means one win and 23 losses when trailing by 4 points or less, especially in the fourth quarter and the last 5 minutes. The second worst in the league, only behind Carolina. Carolina had over 13. I mean, that shows that the guy doesn't know how to close games. He doesn't know how to call plays at the right time, at the right moment. He's just not a good play caller. He's not a good offensive minded coach. He needs to either relieve his duties to the offensive coordinator, or I just don't think he knows how to game have a game plan a game. He just does not. I just don't think he's a good. I don't think he's a head coach. Basically, um, I mean, I just like yesterday is a prime example. Also, you have the lead. It's a 3-point game and like 5 minutes left, 6 minutes left. You're still passing and passing. Just run the ball. Everyone knows. I know everyone who's watching knows that Pittsburgh are not going to score. Our defense was so good, and Pittsburgh's offense was so bad that I just no way I saw them scoring a touchdown unless it came from a turnover, like a fumble or interception, or a big busted play. So why just don't play conservative? Just play conservative. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Kick it to them. What happened to running the ball? What's wrong with running the ball the whole time? What's wrong with punting to the other team? What's wrong with having confidence with your defense? You didn't have confidence with his defense. And his defense was the reason why they stayed in the game in the first place. Um, I mean, he's just not a good coach. I just think the reason he's another reason why if the Browns don't do well this season, it's going to be because of him. So he needs to step up his game, and hopefully he can in the second week. I mean, the third week coming up on Sunday, I'll be at the game, and I'll try to do one podcast at night, probably after the 7:30 games or during the 7:30 game, the Sunday night football. I'll try to do a preview on Saturday for the games, especially the Eagles, because of course, we have to talk about the Eagles too. It's both the Eagles and Browns podcast. It's basically like I said before in my intro, the first time it's more of a Philly and Cleveland podcast, and we'll talk also, of course, soccer, Chelsea in crisis. I mean, just gets worse every week. And Man United too in a crisis. They get worse and worse every week. We'll talk about them. We'll see how they do this weekend. Both them and Chelsea. And of course, other games, other big games in the Premier League happening. Which of course, when there's a North London derby, it's going to be. I'm really looking forward to that game. So yeah, that's all for today, and I'll see you guys hopefully on Saturday for the preview of the NFL Week 3, and maybe some games from the Premier League on Saturday. And I'll see you then. Thank you, and please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it if you do. And I'll see you on, like I said, Saturday. See you.